Hi, how are you today?
Good morning, Toni. I'm wonderful. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Excited about the workshop.
A lot of knowledge is going to be spilled out with this workshop. So we're going to go with the first question, and it is introduce yourself.
Okay, Toni, I am a mother and a wife and a grandmother. I'm also a senior pastor of Walking by Faith, Victorious Faith Ministries in Miami, Florida. I'm also a fashion designer, as well as a CEO of A&T Health and Safety Institute, which is a CPR and first aid instructor agency. Toni, I believe that one of the reasons why I should be chosen is because of my work ethics, my persistence, and calling, and just showing that you all that I'm really excited about being a plus size model, as well as I feel as though I have a lot to bring to the table. I have a lot of experience in encouraging women and just being an example so they can be the best that they can be as well.
Okay.
That was made in your mission statement, that really caught my eye and made me feel like I'm a part of plus size models, even upon doing the interview, or the first interview, where he says you are beautiful and there is no flaw in you. And when I saw that, I was like, wow. So you can accept me the way that I am. There's no flaws in me. You see past anything that's not that can be corrected. And that touched my heart, Toni. I said, yes, this is the place for me. This is the team for me.
Short and long-term goals. And where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I really had to, as I review my life and sit back and think about all the things that I really want. One of my short-term goals would be to increase my advertising uh, standards for my fashion design for the next 3 months, so I can double my business revenue by the end of the fiscal year. I was really thinking about that, and fashion-wise, and where each one of my businesses are going for the year. I want to increase my revenue because I want to build an empire. I believe that God, when He opens doors, it's going to be great and effectual doors, and I don't have to put limitations on anything concerning modeling, acting, or whatever. Wherever God leads you to be a blessing in my life, and the doors fling open, I'm going to be ready and walk in them. So there's no limitations.
That when God opens a door, no man can shut it.
Yes.
So we are on a mission to be for greatness.
Yes, ma'am. I totally agree.
What are your greatest strengths, and give an example?
Well, Toni, one of my greatest strengths is being persistent and consistent and not taking no for an answer. Whatever I set out to do, whatever God lays on my heart, I refuse to give up. I refuse to be a victim and say, well, they didn't give me a chance. I'm going to kick every door down and keep being persistent until I get what I want. And so that's one of my biggest strengths, I believe.
I believe that as well, because I remember when you sent me messages and you said, I want to be a model, I want to be a model. And you were very consistent. You were persistent, and you was like, I'm going to have this. This is what I want. And I love that about you. That is a wonderful quality. Okay. So number 7 is, what are your weaknesses, and give an example?
Well, I have to piggyback on my strength, because what happens is I overdo it. I get so excited when I have a project that I go nonstop, and I have to learn to take the time to calendar things so I won't overlap. So I won't stress myself out and be overwhelmed. I have to make sure that everything is scheduled.
What would you describe your greatest achievement to date? What is your
Whew.
greatest
It
achievement?
brings back, like, that's a tearjerker for me, because in 2010, my husband lost renal activity with his kidney functions, and I at that moment didn't know what I should do. So as I prayed, the Lord laid it on my heart to go and see if I can be a match for him. So I went down to Jackson Memorial Hospital, and I got tested, and they told me that was a perfect match, and I was able to donate my husband a kidney, and he's doing wonderful now. He's a walking miracle, and he has no diabetes. He has no high blood pressure, and he's not on dialysis anymore.
Glory to God.
Yes.
Amen. That is a wonderful testimony, and I believe that a lot of women and anybody out there needs to hear about that. And I love that. I really do. That is a powerful testimony. What are your interests and hobbies?
Whew. Well, Tony, I'm excited about hobbies. I'm a Miami girl. I'm a Floridian, and we have lots of beaches and water. Matter of fact, you have to come down and hang out with us and get by
Yeah.
this water. Able to go back out there by the water, relax, meditate. I love boating, jet skiing. I love the sun. Just being out there in that sun. You have so many different aspects that you can do out there by the water. I love writing by the water. There's poetry and fashion design is one of my biggest hobbies. I love to create.
So you're gonna have to show some of your designs while you're going through your workshop and show people what you can do.
Always something going down, you know. Even for a Christian, it's always something going down for you to do. So, girl, we got to go hang out and get our holy praise on. It's a lot of things we can do around the city.
Okay, I'm down.
Hey, sounds good.
Okay, so we're done with your questions for today. So,
Okay.
do you have any questions for me?
Oh, wow. Yes, I feel honored to ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Question I would like to ask you is, what was one of your highlights in your modeling career?
Let me see. I think when I had doubters and they didn't believe that I would make it, and I truly believe is walking by faith and not by sight, and I believe that God led me. So whenever somebody else told me I couldn't do it, I wound up doing it. I remember my mom, she's very protective of me, and
Mhm.
she kind of tried to protect me and saying, you shouldn't do it. Don't go ahead and do it. Just try some of anything else. Like you could do makeup, hair, you could do that. But I was like, I want to be a model. And that's what I did. And she was the first person that seen me walking on the runway, taking pictures. And when I was in magazines, she was buying all the magazines on the stand. So when she seen that, that was my biggest accomplishment, I think, in modeling, because it made her happy. It gave her a lot of joy.
That's amazing, Tony, because we do need that family support, and we want our friends and our families to support what we do, and it also gives them encouragement to know that they can do whatever they want to do if they just don't stop. And
That's
because you are persistent, you accomplished your goals, and you are where you are today, and to be able to give back and coach other women as well.
Yeah, because I want other women. I want you guys to have the best. I want you to be able to accomplish all of your dreams. And if I have the power to do it, that's what I'm here for, is to help you to be your best.
Well, that's why you're such a great role model, Tony.
Thank you.
And my second question for you is, how do you juggle being a wife, a mother, and a model, and all the business aspects that you have? How do you juggle that and still have your right state of mind?
Right. And it took time. What I had to do is I had to really jot down everything that I needed to do, all the clients that I needed to talk to, what I need to do each morning. I had to schedule it very well and put it in my phone, because they have the scheduler where you can put stuff on your phone and it will remind you. And then I also will put it on a notepad, and then my book that I have, so that I can keep myself together. So
Yes.
that's how I stay focused and how I stay in line with doing what I need to do on a daily basis.
Wow. Well, that's a powerful tool, Tony, because we all can use those different aspects to be able to govern ourselves accordingly, because it's very important that we meet our goals, that we're at places on time, and that we do things with integrity. So that's honorable that you shared that with us today, because we need to know that time management is most important.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to work on. We have so many things that we're going to work on in the workshop that it's going to be awesome. And you're going to win prizes, and you'll get your little package and your model bag. I mean, there's so much stuff that I have for you. and I just cannot wait. I'm excited. Like, I have butterflies thinking about it. So
Absolutely.
I can't believe it's almost here. We have what do we have, a week and a half?
Less than, and I'm excited about it. And I wanted to add, Tony, because like I'm really about health and safety, and more so health. And just a little quick testimony. I used to be 365 pounds, and in the midst of that, like I was taunted. People look at you a certain way. You go to McDonald's, you eat a hamburger. People like it feels as though they're saying she doesn't need that hamburger.
Right.
And I realized that I was a stress eater. So when I was stressed out, I would just go and make food my best friend. But I had to come to the realization that I'm better. I'm better than that. And if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it for the right reason. So I had to start taking the time to pray about it and asking God to give me a better way, because I wanted to be curvy, but I wanted to be also healthy. It's okay to be curvy, but healthy is the way to go. And so, to be honest with you, I didn't lose the weight alone. I had help. I took the time to get a gastric bypass, and that's what worked for me, because I tried everything that I could possibly do to lose weight, and it did not help me. So I had the gastric bypass surgery. It went perfect. There were no problems. I lost 110 pounds. I'm still yet working on myself daily, and I'm exercising, I'm eating properly, and I'm focused, because I realized that was just a tool to help me get there, but
Right.
it's a everyday routine to make sure that I don't go back and gain the weight. And the Lord told me if I would focus on Him and trust Him, that He would help me take the weight off. Because even if you have the gastric bypass, I know people that had it and they still didn't lose the weight. You have to do the work.
You're beautiful in and out, and I think that is a wonderful accomplishment that you even, like, your testimony that you shared with us today.
Thank you, Tony. I just want to inspire women. It doesn't matter where you are. You can make a difference in your life. And even people ask me, like, how do you model being a pastor, and how do you model with gold teeth? And like I tell them, my modeling coach has explained to me that this is where I'm starting. But if I have a plan, at the end of the day, I'm going to be all that God requires me to be, and all that the modeling agency expects me to be. So I'm taking one step at a time.
And if I feel like if God accepts you for who you are, then who am I to take that from you?
Yeah.
And you are in the position that you're in for a reason. So, and if we already went over that plan about your gold teeth, like that you can reverse that, right?
Yes, it can be reversed.
So that is not an issue.
And then when you have a positive attitude
That's
and
right.
around positive people, because I'm excited about the workshop and my diva family, because we have some diva queens that made it to the next part of this interview, and that's going to be into the workshop, and we're going to gel together, and we're going to be a strong team and a revolution in 2015 to come out with plus size model search team, Tony Love, and we're going to show people what God can do with a curvy woman in this season.
That's right. Well, it's plus size model search workshop. It's a tongue twister
Yes.
because it's so much in there. But I mean, I feel like that even if you're big or you're curvy, you can always adjust.
Yeah.
You can always get toned. You can always be improved. So,
Absolutely.
I don't think that anything should discourage you from being a model. If you have that persistence, you know what you want, you go for it, and you don't let nothing stop you.
Yes.
I truly believe that you can make that. You can make it happen for yourself.
I agree. And it's a learning experience, Tony. It doesn't happen overnight, and you don't get jobs overnight. That's one thing that, people in the industry, or that's coming into the industry, need to know, that, you have to build up your team base and build up your fan base, and have good advertisement, which you're going to teach us in the workshop, that, to be patient and have a thick skin, because we're not going to get a job like right away, unless God just automatically do it for us, which anything can happen, but we have to be patient and consistent.
That's right. So I think that is pretty much the interview for today. And I want to thank you guys for viewing. And as always, stay blessed. Bye, Tarea. I will talk to you later.
Okay. Have a great and wonderful day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.